So one of the biggest questions we always get is, where do I find properties? If I could give you one tip or trick, I would say quit looking at houses. Everybody thinks they're going to go out and find the next greatest deal. And that's just not the way that it works. Everybody's looking for the same pot of gold when it comes to a house. And if you think you're going to find the best property in the best neighborhood by going on the multiple listing service and doing that, you may get lucky, but at the end of the day, it's going to be pretty hard to do, and your odds are really not with you. So what we want to do when we start doing property, I said quit looking at houses. And the reason we can quit looking at houses is we're basically trying to find people who have problems. There's either problem properties or problem people. And many times they're the same people and they have both. So we got problem people and problem properties. What are problem properties? Properties that need repair, properties that are going into foreclosure, properties that are not selling on the open market. A lot of different problem properties that are out there. What are problem people? Problem people who are going into foreclosure, people who've lost a job, people who've been downsized, people who have medical issues, people that are getting divorces, people that are going to be relocating. There's problem people everywhere as well. So how do we find these people? And the main thing we need to think about is we need to be out there marketing our business. We need to be advertising our business. We need to let people know what we're doing. We need to do things to get the phone ringing. I know some of you guys are going to go, Pip, I understand I need to advertise my business, but what if somebody calls? So we have all kinds of scripts. We have all kinds of tools that we can help you with. And I told you one of the things you need to have in your back pocket, and this is all about the support that we talk about. But one of the things you need to have in your back pocket is when you talk to somebody, you're talking to a realtor, you're talking to a seller, whoever you're talking to, what you need to think about very simply is that you always have to have in your back pocket, when you don't know the answer to something, well, my partner takes care of that. Is it okay if I talk to my partner and get back with you? I think that is a very underused thing, and it's a very important thing, because what it does is it buys you time. You don't need to be an expert on everything, but you need to have experts on your team. And that's what Pip's Path is all about, is that support. You can get knowledge a lot of different places, but who do you go to find that support? You need to get in contact with us and we can talk about how we can get you guys all the support that you'll ever need. Now, with that being said, when people call you on your advertising, you need to be open to answering questions, but you also need to be open to having different tools in your toolbox. If somebody calls you on your We Buy Houses advertising, if somebody calls you on that, well, think about that. If somebody calls you on that and you say, and the person on the other end of the phone says, well, I'm losing my house to foreclosure, and you say, well, all I know how to do is wholesale contracts, and you hang up on them, you've left money on the table. Well, that doesn't make a lot of sense. And so we want to be able to have as much knowledge so that we can take down as many deals as we could ever imagine, and we do that by having more tools in our toolbox and having the knowledge to do that from the very beginning of our business process. And so there's lots of things that we can do. One of the things I want you to think about, though, is we are probably, the easiest way to do this is to tell people that you're a real estate investor. I said this earlier on one of the videos. When somebody says, what do you do for a living? You don't say, I'm an engineer. You say, I'm a real estate engineer. I'm a real estate investor. I happen to be an engineer on the side. And so when you answer your question of what do you do for a living, I'm a real estate investor, guess what's going to happen? They are going to start asking you questions about what does that mean? How does that work? We're also going to be talking about paying other people to do the work for us. And we do that through what's called a reward program. A reward program. A lot of people tell me they want to go around and drive by and look at houses. If you're driving around looking at houses, that's the same as this. Quit looking at houses. Quit doing drive-bys. In fact, in some neighborhoods, you don't want to call it a drive-by. What you want to do is reward other people for doing that, and we're going to talk about that on future videos. The point really is you want to use other people's time, other people's energy, other people's efforts and expertises. We'll get more into that on future videos, but really understand, we do not want to be doing the work ourselves. We want to be paying other people to do that. And the nice part about it, when we start doing reward programs, we don't pay them until the deal closes. What's the international sound of money? That's cha-ching. Look forward to seeing you guys on the path.